months, seems like it's been a couple months since we met, I guess it has been, so, thanks everybody for coming. And, guess Ryan, was unable to make it tonight, so we'll go ahead and get started. First on the agenda is go back to the May minutes. I assume everyone has had a chance to look at those, if there's any questions, or changes we need to make. Otherwise, we entertain a motion to accept the minutes for May.
Motion to approve minutes for May.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Very good. Okay. Third, we go right into the skate park.
Absolutely. Construction has started on the community skate park at Richardson, Du Bois. Crews arrived last week. The base for the construction, otherwise known as the GeoGrid, is down. Has been installed. Of course, that's the GeoGrid and 12 inches of base on top of that. So now the actual work for the skate park starts. And I don't know if you've been by there today or not, but you can look at the south end, and it's built up 4 foot, trying to create the first bowl on the south end. They've got some batten boards on the north end that shows you the height of the actual bowl on the north end. So we're well on our way. So exciting times for that. We've also looked into signage, of course, the recognition of the funding for that park, the park rules, and also the Liz Fraser sign, which happens to be in. They're inspecting it, but it is at Great Craft, so I'm excited to see that as well. So once the perimeter is defined by the construction crews, we'll go in there and we'll start setting light bases and things of that sort. But we're well on our way, so things are happening. So,
Seems like it's,
any questions on that?
seems like that's all of a sudden, it's happening pretty quick now, taking off.
Yes, yes.
Well, Larry, will the Liz Fraser dedication, will that be at the same time as the park dedication, or will that be a separate thing?
We're gonna do them simultaneously. We're gonna do them the same night. We're gonna cover it up and then dedicate the skate park and the new signage for those
Okay.
pictures. We'll have more, I'll get that out there the closer we get to it, because I just don't know when that time
Sure,
is. So,
sure.
yeah. Yep.
Okay, anyone else? Skate park? Okay. Unfortunately, it's that time of year.
Budget time, isn't it? Time to roll. Well, let's start with our 2204 budget, or operating budget. Everybody got the explanatory sheet out. I guess that's the best way to follow that. I give you a budget sheet. If you go to the explanatory sheet, it's easier to follow if you're right there, because anyhow. We go to personal services, salary and wages. We've got a 9% increase here. That's the 2% increase we were instructed, but also the city of Warsaw, the HR department did a workforce study, and the results showed that we needed to add an admin assistant and a laborer to our team. I met with the wage committee. Jody was on the wage committee as well. We discussed it with them. They were in agreement with it. Adding a second admin assistant will improve our operational efficiency. We're providing continuity of the front office operations. It'll ensure uninterrupted customer service and financial processing, reducing disruptions caused by staff absences, and it will allow Stephanie, myself, Lene, to remain focused on our work instead of having to cover for that. When Suzanne's gone or she's on vacation or something like that, it takes the three of us combined to run that. So that is the reason that the study showed for an admin assistant. Maintenance position, in a summary, as our parks and facilities and events continue to grow, our workforce study confirmed that adding maintenance employees is the single highest impact investment we can make to maintain the level of service our community expects, while shifting from reactive maintenance to proactive asset management. So, in other words, we're on the line of burnout with our staff due to the high load that we have. Working for other departments, helping them out, keeping our parks meticulous, keeping our programs up, everything. It just, it creates a lot of work. And through that workforce study, it showed that. And so that is the reason we've added these two positions to that. So So with the 9% increase is $781,800 for wages and benefits. Wages is $1,465,000.
Both those are full-time
Full-time
positions.
positions, yes. And then we also have other personal services that is our cell phone stipends, so it comes up to $2,249,300, which is, like I said, 9% increase in personal services. Any questions on personal services?
So is the maintenance man going to work everywhere?
He will do everything that our laborers do right now, yes. Yes.
The 2%, that's what the city.
That's what they proposed that we put in our budget, yes. Any other questions? If not, we'll go to supplies. Office supplies, we're keeping that the same, $3,200. Operating supplies, we have about a 7% increase here, and that's due to fuel cost and supply cost. Just up a little bit from last year, $157,800. And then we go to repair and maintenance, 0% increase there. And the $290 other supplies, meals for snow removal, crew of $500. So that's really a 4% increase on total supplies, $289,500. Any questions on supplies? All right, we go to other services and charges. Professional services, we kept that the same as well, 0% increase, total $127,300. Of course, it's all well laid out there. It's, tree service, it's legal fees, it's geese removal, cameras, inspections, eye strike, lightning detection, maintenance agreements. The one thing that's new in here that we didn't have last year in there, we had, is the 5-year master plan. There's $25,000 in there for a 5-year master plan. That is due, we gotta start on that in 2027. So, we'll have a year to do it, and then it'll be effective in 2028. So, something important, so we get the availability for DNR grants and things of that sort. Plus, it's a really good tool for us to go by, and then it's also got a 10-year maintenance plan that Sean does, that we go through, and that really helps us as well. So it's a very good tool, very worthy to do that every 5 years. Communication, transportation, this is just, it's the same, 2% increase. It's, Verizon, iPads, cameras, postage, things of that sort.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
can we go back to?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Lake Association, these, can you explain that a little bit on the?
Well, for the past, ever since I've been involved with the Parks Department, we've given to lake associations, we've given $2,500 a year. That's for conservation of the lakes. Most of them use it for spraying of
It's
the
not
lakes.
dues.
It is not a due, it's a contribution to the Lakes Association. We do it to Winona, Pike, and Center.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
We got printing and advertising, again, no increase there. We feel that, Stephanie every year gets that going and gets the most bang for her buck there. And with social media, we implement that as well, so that helps us. Insurance, we've instructed to put 10% increase in there, so that comes in up to 45.5. And workman's compensation, 10% there as well, so 22,000.
And all those are part of the city, a citywide.
Yes, yes, citywide, that's what we've been instructed by the clerk to put in there for that, and HR, so,
How do they break that down, the parks portion of that?
well, it's just based upon the insurance what it cost us for insurance for our facilities, yes. So, for instance, WR Hall is our insurance company, so they go around, they inspect all of our buildings, have all of our assets, and that's what they insure for the park department. I'm sure they do that for every department.
Yep.
So, yep. And then, of course, utility services, about a 9% increase. We've seen the rise in those, and that's about what we're figuring for 2027. Repairs and maintenance, we're actually have an increase here. That's we're looking at the new planners downtown. We're trying a little satellite thing where the new Lake City Bank remodel is going, so we're gonna try above-ground planters. So that is something to have Anderson's come and service those planters. So we're looking at that and trying that as a satellite piece, and if, it goes well, there's talk that we may implement that throughout the city if it works well. So that's to be seen. We want to try it and see how it goes, and so that's why the $14,000 is in there. That would be phase 3 of the Central Park sidewalk replacement. We did one last year, we're doing one in September of this year, and then this would be phase 3 of it. And then also the $40,000 in there for the office HVAC, with those admin added. Of course, the mayor and HR are upstairs now, we've got it carpeted. It can tell you when it's 90 degrees out, it's pretty warm up there in the afternoon. So, as you know, when they laid that building out, the upstairs was, part of it was made for office expansion. To do that, we would move a couple offices upstairs, so that is for the HVAC, to have that, heating and cooling upstairs. So that's what that's for. And then, of course, miscellaneous truck repairs of 6,000. So 38% increase. Most of that is for the downtown urns and the HVAC for the upstairs in the office. So a total of $197,800. Rentals, 6% increase, and that's due to uniform rug and rag rental increase. Other services and charges, we've about a 22% increase here, and that's due to Department of Homeland Security increases for our permits, and then of course, we've added $20,000 there for our concerts. We've had it at $90,000 for a lot of years. Stephanie can tell you, it's getting harder and harder to find acts for that price. I mean, to find them in the $25,000 to $35,000 range is just about impossible anymore. You either got somebody in a wheelchair or somebody that's really over their prime. So we're looking to have a little bit more money there to give us a little more choices in our cakes. So it's a 22% increase in that, $120,200. AwardCo, of course, this is our way of awarding the employees, been very, very helpful, very meaningful to employees. I'm so happy we have that. Still at $6,000, 0% increase. So overall, our other services and charges, $777,300, 12% increase. Then we get to capital outlays. Our 10-year master plan shows we need to replace one of our plow trucks. So that's $60,000 budgeted for that. We'll keep the cost down by allowing the street department our mechanic shop, to install the plow and the light package on the truck. That's another $12,000. We've got bench and swing replacement with CERN by our Kiwanis and Pike Lake we'd like to do. That's part of our master plan. Of course, our annual riding lawnmower replacement yearly, that's yearly. And then, of course, we use trimmers, things of that sort. And then our recreational equipment, 4,000. That's a 33% decrease, or 123,000. So we're at 123,000 there. That's 71% decrease overall of our total capital outlays. So our total proposed budget for 27 is $3,439,100. That's $4,700 decrease from the 2026 budget proposed. So, any questions on that?
So you threw a lot at us, and I know we've
I
had
did,
time to
but
look at
yes, yes.
look at
Yeah.
this. Questions?
Yeah, as the mayor can well say, we didn't know what's going to happen with the state and with the taxes and everything, so we're trying to hold the line or do everything we can to be, good stewards of taxpayers' money. And, we came up with a budget here that falls short of what we're spending this year. And, if something has to come out of it, we'll take something out of it. But I feel that we've held the line. We're doing what we can to still maintain the parks, keep them safe, still have activities, keep our equipment right, keep our personnel level the way it is. So that's basically what our budget comes down to.
I think we ask more and more of the Parks Department each year. Obviously, our
personal expenses, what hasn't gone up.
Yeah.
I think we saw this year, it's gonna be, we expect that, and to have an overall decrease is just, I didn't expect that type of decrease at all, actually, overall. So,
Questions again? We're going to approve this or
Yeah.
go on to the next one? If there's any questions, otherwise we accept the motion to accept the 2204 budget as presented.
I move that we approve the 2204 budget as presented by Larry.
We have a motion to accept the 2204. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you. Move on to the 2211, which is our non-reverting recreation budget. Go to supplies here. We got a $2,000 increase due to supply cost. Stephanie's running these programs, crafts and supplies and just general supplies and overall are increasing. Everything's increasing right now. So $2,000 increase. It's not much, but it'll help us. So we'll be at total supplies at $17,250. We get down to printing and advertising. They're again $1,400. And then the increase, we lost the Indiana Arts Commission grant. The one round we lost that, so it's about a $5,000 impact. So we put that into here. The good news is Stephanie has reapplied for that. It looks like she's going to get it. So we're back in the game for that. But to make up for the one round that we lost, we put $5,000 in here. So that brings it up to $17,100. So the total proposed budget is $34,350. As of June 11th, we have $48,717.69 in that appropriation. So that's about midterm through the year. So we expect that to go up. So we're right about 50%, 45%, or excuse me, 55% somewhere in there spending out of that appropriation for the non-reverting park recreation budget. Any questions on that?
Do you find with the increase in costs and everything, and I know you have a slight bump to your budget, but do you find that we're having to charge more for participation in things? We have such great participation.
Yeah, I think eventually that'll happen again, and we try not to go more than $2 or $3 for some things, but some things, looking at new classes, we might have to do some increases.
I know you fight not to do that, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We're
We try
not
to-
to do that.
We try to hold the line and, just pay for our stuff, but yeah, make a little revenue enough to get it done here so we can budget again, but yeah.
Because that's why
Very
it's
minded.
so popular, because you can take your kids and go do those activities and support them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? Okay. We'd accept a motion to accept the budget as presented on the 2211.
I propose we accept the budget 2211.
Okay, Naomi, thank you. A second?
I'll second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All opposed? Okay.
All right, the next one's the 4403. That's our non-reverting capital fund, firemen's and pretty much the same as last year. We have repairs and maintenance. We just put in $30,000 there in case we have any contracted expenses related to the upkeep of those buildings, motors, electrical, HVAC, et cetera. And then machinery and equipment, the same thing, cost related to replacing equipment in the buildings or kayak kiosks, things of that sort. So 15,000 there. So that brings the total budget of $45,000. As of June 11th, there was $127,264 in there. So, we're not even close to 50% of that budget. So
And
what's there?
that's the same as last year.
It is. Yeah. Yep.
Any questions on the 4403 budget? Accept the motion to accept the proposed budget, 4403.
I move that we accept the 4403
credit for getting that done.
Thank you.
Moving on to the maintenance report. Tom?
All right, yeah. So the maintenance staff have helped to set up and tear down for the Rock and Country concerts, which I'm sure Stephanie's gonna go into great detail about, so I won't get too deep in that. We've also helped set up the Aqua Live for a couple wipeout events, and we have another one coming up this weekend, is that correct? So, we'll be there helping out with that as well. We've, done a little extra, trying to help Stephanie out this year since she's shorthanded with the lifeguards. So on the maintenance staff, we provided a few extra guys, and I think it's really worked well, for all of us. Yeah. And we've had great turnouts for everything that we've been to, other than a little bit of weather. This past Friday night was still a really good show, and I think the vendors did okay with the crowd that was there. The maintenance staff have also topped off all playgrounds with engineered wood fiber. We ended up going through 2 semi-loads. Now everything's up to stuff on there, and then we'll get back into that next year, in the beginning of the summer. Have to top other ones off that maybe have sunk down a little bit, keep our playground safety standards up in line, and we do a monthly inspection on all the playgrounds. Been doing that all summer. As Larry mentioned, skate park work has begun. If you haven't been by there, please go by. It's really neat to see, and every day something's happening there. I really can't wait to see that thing done. Let's see, we removed a handful of dead trees in Lucerne Park and McKinley Park. We've also ground the stumps down. We seeded and strawed those areas. We will replace all of the trees that have been removed with new trees. We've already reached out to Open Air Garden about a Crimson King maple at McKinley to kind of go with the theme that we have going on there. And then we'll also have a few other trees that we're gonna plant in. So I think actually by the time it's all said and done, we'll probably have a few extra trees planted than what we took out this year. Our carpenters have been busy. They've recently been helping out the police department, making improvements out at their shooting range. It was a pretty big project they're working on out there. It's probably gonna be a couple weeks worth. We had a pretty good sized crew out there last week, and then the carpenters and helper have been there this week. Also, before they started that, they helped the street department out. They had to repair a header above an overhead door that got damaged by a piece of equipment down there. Kind of an emergency situation because they had to secure the door, had to be able to get the door down, so they needed help getting that out of the way so they could close the door. But we were happy to help. They called us up, we got it done. Also, we've been keeping up with the ongoing maintenance in all of the parks, mowing, weeding, hauling tables every week, cleaning up buildings after rentals, making repairs after all the rentals and everything. Watering flowers throughout the whole town. It's kind of nonstop. We've had a really good summer so far though, and I'll tell you what, the summer staff that I have on the maintenance side is probably one of the best I've ever had here. So kudos to them. I believe that's about all I have to talk about.
Any questions, comments?
Has the fact that we no longer have lifeguards, has there been an effect of,
You know,
more calls of?
I have not heard anything, you know, I just haven't had any reports come to my office, you know, the times we've been around, it looks good. You know, most people are following the rules, they're, you know, swimming there, and they've got their parent there if they're underage, and, we have not had any reports or complaints that I know of.
Good.
So,
And how are we doing with I mean, I know you have the beach rake and everything that helps to take care of the duck and geese droppings, but, are we, water quality wise, are we, especially with all the humidity and growth and everything, how are we doing?
Yeah, they've been testing still like we normally have, and we've not had any issues at
Great.
all. We do run the beach rake every day, even on the weekends, so every day beachgoers will
So they've been wonderful this year. With their help and my team, I'm gonna do a little recap so far of the summer. So we had library stories, we had 4 different dates for that. We reached 287 participants, so kids coming in for those library stories and craft time. It's been a huge success again this year. We've had 2 wipeout dates so far, 554 participants actually in the water, and about another 300 or 400 on the beach, watching children, grandchildren, children that they're babysitting. So we've had the beach full 2 different times, and Sean's team did help with that. They actually stayed in the water and watched, made sure everything was going, according to plan and everyone was safe. That was a huge help. It allowed me to be on the beach and take those new waivers and talk to people and answer questions. So that was huge. We had the rock concert with Great White. Larry and I talked about it. We had about 5,000 people in Central Park for that concert. It went really well. Imagination Station, so far this summer, we've had 118 participants, which is a little higher than last year. And today I talked to 2 new families. So we still are bringing in new families all the time for that. Paddleboarding and canoeing, we're getting about 50 participants per date, so per day for that. So that's going really well. The luau in the park, we had 425 participants that we could count. So that was a movie and a cookout. The park was really full for that too. The country concert, like Sean mentioned, we did have some weather. By the time the front men were ready to take the stage, all of the weather had moved out. It had cleared up, and we had about 1,500 in the park, which was still a good number. I felt like for the way that the day went, we had to make a lot of adjustments throughout the day, but we worked together as a team. Larry and I talked several times during the day just to make sure that we were doing the right things, and it was still a great concert. They put on a really good show. So upcoming, we have Heartland Sings Friday night at Lucerne Park. They are going to be doing oldies like 40s through the 70s. Saturday, we do have another wipeout, which Sean is providing another group of guys for us that day. And then we have the Family Carnival next Friday, July 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. And I finalized everything for that today, and it looks like we'll have a lot of things going on in the park. And then,
Sorry, is that the event that the Ham Radio Club helps with?
that is Fall Family
Fall
Fun.
Family, I'm sorry.
And they did help at the rock and country concert this year a little bit. They helped me at the parking lot, they helped me at the VIP section. I had a gentleman that shadowed me, just to make sure that, to relay a message to someone if I needed some additional
That's
help.
a great connection.
Yeah, they're a very nice team of people, so, but they are not coming to the family carnival. I asked them, they didn't think that was for them. They're like, I don't know how to play games or maybe work with kids, so they passed on that one, but they will be back in October. So then after we get this next concert out of the way, we will still have 4 more because we had 2 rain outs and we have rescheduled both of them. So this one will be at Lucerne Park on Friday, and then the other 4 will be over either in the plaza or on the upper stage. So we still have a lot of things going on the next few weeks, so.
If I could, I'd like to clear up a little bit about the country concert, how that process goes. We as a team get together and we watch weather, but we're also in contact with the National Weather Service. They called me twice that day. They talked about some intermittent showers, possible lightning, things of that sort. Of course, we have the lightning detection system at Center Lake that gives warnings if there's lightning in the area, so we felt good about that. When you have a concert like that, of course, we have concert insurance that we go in front of the Board of Works every year and get. But that's gotta be a catastrophic event. It's gotta be a flood, it's gotta be a weather event like a tornado or a mini tornado like we had in 2012 go through before we can claim something. So it's our obligation as a team to our sponsors to make sure this show goes on. Because it's their dollars that we're putting towards this concert. And whether we have a concert or not, we've got to pay show and go on with the show. And Friday night was a great example. It looked like, well, maybe we won't get it in, you know. The clouds broke up and it was a good concert. It was a really good concert. And, you know, I wish more people would have been there, but the 1,500 to 2,000 that were there, they enjoyed it. The vendors all loved it, and so it worked out. But just to give you a little background on what our day goes through with that and what our thinking process is, and that, you know, we're so happy that our sponsors sponsor these things every year, and we want to make sure that we, you know, we do everything possible to spend their dollars in the right way.
Well, it was just so difficult. It was nice, then it turned bad, then it was nice. It was one of those, yes, do you not? It was not like it was an all-day rain event that you could know what was gonna happen. So, yeah, applaud you and the group for, it was, I mean, to have 1,500 to 2,000 for the day it went off is actually pretty.
And it's nice that the National Weather Service, I mean, they call me right on my cell phone and talk to me, they keep me posted, you know, they didn't talk about high winds or anything like that, so we didn't have, you know, a sailing problem with our sails or anything, so, just good information about all of us, the whole team, National Weather Service, and, just good decisions, and then we got it going.
And the Great White was a perfect night.
You couldn't ask for better
I
than
know,
that.
just absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And on top of that too, the National Weather Service will also send out emails too. So there's a lot of communication that goes on, and it ended up to be a beautiful ending. The sunset was just gorgeous. So that's all I
I
have.
think as long as we're doing our due diligence to make sure that, like you said, we're responsible with our sponsors, you know, resources, and then also be making sure that we're providing a safe venue for our community, and you've done both of those, so, you know, I think, couldn't ask for more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Steph.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna let Sean do team members of the month. I was on vacation for the one and get my hip replaced on the other, so I'll let him, he's got the pictures, I'll let him talk about it.
Yeah. So, for the month of May, the team member of the month was Dylan Thomas. Dylan is a zero drama employee that shows up to work, keeps his head down, gets the job done, whatever it may be. We rely on him for a lot of things. One thing especially is cleaning the restrooms during our busy season during the summer. He did strictly restrooms last year. That is a job that will burn you out quickly, and we were afraid of burnout, so we decided to change that up this year. Have the whole rest of the team jump in and take weeks of cleaning restrooms during the slower season, but June, July, it was Dylan during our busy peak seasons, and he does a great job there. All the rest of the staff love him. He's self-sufficient. I know I can send him off to do a thing, and it's gonna get done. So congrats to Dylan on the May team member of the month. For June, we had a vote, from a few people, and then, the winners of the vote were the Mo Crew, which is a group of 4 guys: Tyler Denny, Parker Shoemaker, Max McGuire, and Gannon Gonzalez. These guys have really hit a groove this year, and they're keeping the parks looking great. They mow and trim the grass, they'll edge the sidewalks, they'll blow off the sidewalks, pick up tree limbs, they'll do anything they come across in the parks. All of the parks in the city outside of Central Park. They're a very valuable part of our team, and we are lucky to have them, so congrats to those guys. They've really made big steps this year. Parker and Kyler have kind of been our full-timers on the Mo Crew for a few years now. They're a couple of our younger employees, and they show growth every year, and they're really hit their stride this year. It's nice to see. Makes my job easier knowing that I can trust that they're getting it done. I don't have to check up on them. I don't have Larry in my ear about a park not getting mowed or a sidewalk not getting edged this year. So it's been a really good year, and well-deserved for sure.
And we're fortunate our summer staff, like Sean said, it's probably the best I've ever seen, and, you know, we've got, a sophomore and a junior on that crew right there, they're big
6'7". He's a gentle giant.
I don't know what the Thomases ate, but they're big men.
So,
It's, it's really, the parts that I drive by, they're just perfectly done. I mean, they're all mowed, the flowers, I don't know how they keep them in such good shape, the way it's been this summer.
so we're watering flowers from 5 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have basically two routes running, yeah.
Isn't it crazy, like earlier in the summer, there was, you know, the water everywhere,
Yeah.
and now it's like, give me the water, give me the
Oh,
water.
yeah, a couple 100-degree stretches there,
Yeah.
now hot, humid.
Okay, any questions, comments?
We have the budget, when will the council review that budget?
I present to the council, August 3rd, first Monday. Yes. I think I'm second on the agenda, which I like, thank you.
Okay, any old business? Any new business?
I'd just like to bring up, I think Steve Haynes started our employee appreciation dinner, luncheon, and I'm sure the board wants to keep that going. I know it's a little bit early, I think last year we had that in early October, which seems to be a good time for everyone. And so if we could kind of be thinking that, maybe after next month's meeting, we can ask Suzanne to get some information out, what dates might work good for October, if that's all right with everyone. I know Steve would appreciate us doing that, and we all want to keep that going as well. It's a team effort, and they don't get enough recognition for the job they do, and it's something not very big, but it shows our appreciation to you and the entire staff.
Means a lot to our team members, right?
Yeah,
That
think
you
they-
all come and show that, they get to know you, and that's just great.
Yeah, it's
great. Another piece of the
it
puzzle.
Means a lot to us too.
to really
Yeah.
sit down and talk with them. And I think everybody's really relaxed and enjoy it, so we'd like to keep that going. Any other matters that we need to discuss? If not, we'll accept a motion to adjourn.